I can't even tell you how much of my success has been about me positioning myself as the easiest person to ask for help from. Reach out, I'm never too busy to help. DM for help, reach out, I'm never too busy to help. Even when I was in real estate, I learned that from Buffini. It's like, I'm never too busy for your referrals. I'm like, that's a bullshit statement.
How do you have a call to action without having a call to action? Or how do you have it where it's like people can know that they can come to you as a resource to talk if they think you might not be approachable?
So I'm a coach first. And I'm also, so why are you scared to ask people what you want from them?
Why am I scared to ask them what I want from them? Well, see, that's the thing. We never had that in there because we were like,
don't bring me into this.
I won't. Fine, I'll stay alone here. We didn't have a call to action because there was no initial call to action. So it was serving unconditionally initially.
Yeah. Well, but it's not conditional on them joining you at EXP. It's that if they want to be in a deeper relationship with you, shoot you a DM on Instagram. I'm not asking you to join me. You're starting at A. You're like, oh, listen, like we want to listen to our podcast, but then like Z is joining me at EXP, right? B is like, shoot me a message. So so if you look at like the relationship of any client, right, that we meet, and then you're not going to meet the person that you end up marrying and be like, oh, step B is marry me. No, look at all the things that we have to go through together, right? So, the call to action in each one of our pieces of content or in our flow or in our pipeline needs to be appropriate to the next step. And so I think that the kind reminder of, a lot of you guys follow us because we're here to serve and we love helping agents build their business. If you ever want to know how we do that on a deeper level, shoot me a DM. We'd love to know how we can help, right? There's a certain, I don't want to say confidence, that's not the right word, but I became a lot more confident. I used to be scared to say that because it felt like I was selling to people. But now I help so many people that I never sell to in my DMs that it's like, no, like shoot me a DM. I am confident that I'm not here to sell you. So I think sometimes we get in our own heads that it's like, yeah, of course I want you to join me at EXP, obviously. But like more than anything, I want to help you. And so send me a DM and let's see if I can even do that. And then I think that really sets the expectation for this is just the next step. This isn't like the end.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the funnel parts that we forget the foreplay part completely. It's just like straight.
Most agents do. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Is that a commonality you find in the people you coach?
Oh, absolutely. We have to look at it as linear. Okay, so I have ADD, and when I don't take my medicine, my brain is exploding in all different directions. And most agents, their funnels or lead generation is the same thing, right? It's like I'll send some letters, I'll send some cards, I'll do a video, and they just throw things out. It's a linear relationship. There is things that we do to put ourselves in front of people that we are not in relationship with. Number one rule of marketing, increase the number of people who know you exist. The best way and most effective way to do that right now is through short form video, because I posted a 4-second video and got 2 million views, right? Now there's 2 million people who didn't know I existed. It is really hard to lose when you have those types of numbers on your side. Okay, and now it's only a matter of time. So the next natural progression is, okay, now they know I exist. Now how can I serve them? Right? I've already piqued their interest. I've already hit their feed. They've already interacted and engaged. But why would they follow me? What's the purpose? Now, a lot of agents miss this. They just put out content for the sake of putting out content. But like, why would someone follow you? How does it benefit them? We know how it benefits you. Like, I know how it benefits me, but how does it benefit them? How do they win by following you? And then the next step is like, a closer level of relationship is, okay, you've been following me for a while, you see value in me, there's trust built, I'm like doing this consistently, maybe you've tried a couple things and you're seeing some results, and just even acknowledging that, like a video of, hey, like maybe you tried a couple things and you're seeing results. If you want to know how else I can help, I'd love to find out too. I don't know you, I don't know your situation, but if I can help, I'd love to. So shoot me a DM. And just saying that very authentically and organically, but then also being there for the people in your DMs. So the next, and then rewarding the behavior. So there's like a formula here. Reward the behavior you want more of. Feature the people in your DMs. Snapshot them. Like Susie, so glad she reached out to me. So grateful for this platform for connecting with the people I want to be in relationship with, right? And now we're kind of rewarding the cycle, if you will. So, and then lastly, there has to be some sort of transition to the next phase, right? So I've found in the DMs, at least, I can get a lot of value in helping people, but there's only a certain depth, right? And you can do a lot more on audio message these days. So if you're struggling with conversion on any of these platforms and anything, do your audio message, right? So opposed to typing a response, hit the microphone button and have it send. What's the next natural step? And this is where people struggle, is like the next natural step is us like having a conversation, but people are scared to ask for it. In reality, what I'm guessing has happened with those individuals, and I'm sorry this happened to you, but hopefully it won't happen again, is that we are the leader in this relationship. And that when we stop moving and when we stop saying what the simple next step to being in a relationship with us is, people start looking around. You're like in the jungle, we're weed whacking. Whether it was like, all right, next step, like, give me a follow. Next step, shoot me a DM. Next step, right? And the moment you stop, they are like, oh, well, I just wander. Okay, I just wander away. They wander away. And then they go down the path with someone else.
Someone else gets their attention. Yeah.
Who tells them the clear next step. So just being very clear about, hey, I'd love to just jump on a call and see if there's any way you better understand your goals, right? I'd love to better understand what your next phase of growth looks like. I think, what you're doing is absolutely incredible. I'd love to learn more about it. I'd love to have you on the podcast. I mean, that's the next natural step. And then identifying how truly can you serve that person. We're not going to be able to serve everyone, but we have enough resources at our disposal to serve most.
I think I'm just slowly realizing it's just similar to any sort of like sales conversation, right?
I was literally thinking the same
like
thing. Repeat, approve, handle.
That too, but almost in a sense where it's like, let's just say you're at a seller's kitchen table and you're asking them to sign the contract, the listing agreement, and right, there's things they want to think about. Of course, you're trying to close, get the agreement signed, but let's just say they're not ready to sign that day. A lot of agents will just say, all right, well, let me know when you're ready, or I'll check back with you next week. But what we've all been taught is, hey, I'll give you a call on Monday at 3:00. Set the next appointment so that they have some sort of commitment on the calendar, right?
Yeah.
So,
What's
but
the
it's
next
just
step in the relationship?
it's just managing expectations, right? And then when they do sign the agreement, they do list with you. It's all right. Well, here's the next step of our relationship. We're gonna get photographer. We're gonna get keys. We're gonna get signed. Whatever it is. It's just making sure people understand what the next steps of the conversion or the relationship is.
Yeah, I just feel.
Go ahead. Sorry, I was gonna say you could Alex Hormozy close them and say. Usually people don't need more time to make decisions. They need more information. So I'm curious what more information I can give you, make you feel confident making a decision today.
I love that one.
I say that it sincerely is not a sales technique to me.
It's the truth.
It is sincerely that you're lacking the information that you need to say yes or no. Yep. Because look, if it's not for you, just tell me it's not for you. Like I talk to people all the time and they're like, look, X, Y, Z, it's just not for me. Whatever we're talking about, it's like, great, no problem. Like any other way I can help, right? I think the misconception is like that those are techniques to get to a sale. No, those are techniques. There's a filtering technique of like, no, like, are we really truly in the middle or are we in the no phase? And if we're in the no, that's totally okay. Like there's no reason to waste our time. We'll just stay in relationship in a different way. Yeah. Our relationship doesn't have to end. It's just not going to go down that direction.
Yeah. When you were talking about going from social media, like interactions, engagement to conversation, the thought that came to my mind was whenever, how when you're on a sales call and you get an objection, you handle the objection by repeating their objection, approving it, saying it's okay, and then handling it. In essence, if someone does message you or does have the courage to reach out and you feel like it wasn't like right away there, by reposting it on your story and acknowledging that they did that, you're telling the world, yes, I'm repeating that this is okay. Yep. Now you're letting everybody else get excited to do the same thing. Now they get introduced to your audience.
Honestly, guys, I can't even tell you how much of my success has been about me positioning myself as the easiest person to ask for help from. Like literally my tagline, like you literally anything Lauren Taylor, reach out, I'm never too busy to help, DM for help, reach out, I'm never too busy to help. Even when I was in real estate, like I learned that from Buffini. It's like, I'm never too busy for your referrals. I'm like, that's a bullshit statement. I am never too busy to help because I could care less whether or not it's the poor guy. He's probably going to listen to this podcast and be like, fuck you, Lauren.
That was strike two. That was strike two on Buffini.
Poor guy. And he's awesome. He was awesome. I just took it. I needed those to like set myself up for what worked for me, right? And all, some people are very successful in that program. It just wasn't my style. But that's the thing. I think the idea of like, I'm never too busy to help with your sale. Like, who is? Like, of course you're gonna make yourself available, but what happens when it doesn't benefit you and monetarily? Then are you too busy? That's what the consumer looks at us at like.
Right.
That, well, you weren't this pumped about telling me about Century 21 and it didn't benefit you, right? And so we also have to come from the confidence of like, it's not about me. Look, I've put it out openly. Like, do any of you guys think I would sincerely threaten our relationship over $2,300?
Right.
Like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like, let me sneeze and make that right now. Okay. Yeah. We owe it to our relationships to be in the position to be able to say that, to say, I would never, ever put our relationship above this. but I wish that someone would have brought me this opportunity sooner so I could make the best decision for my family. And I don't know what that is for you yet. I know that I wish I had an open mind to know about it sooner versus closing it down because of things I didn't understand, you know? So yeah.
We're in the same boat. We went to that initial meeting in San Diego in February
last year.
And then we signed on like 10 months later. But it took us so long because of the fact that we were like, oh, this is great. But for so long we were thinking, oh, this is just, you know, all the normal things you hear. And it just took us a while because there was so much uncertainty or not knowing or getting clarity on it. But we knew we wanted to transition over after that one retreat, without a doubt.
Where'd you guys, where were you at before?
We had an independent
brokerage.
For me, I was at the largest, you know, brokerage in San Diego before I came over. It was a flat rate brokerage. So I paid them $3,000 a year, basically like, leave me alone and just like let me do my thing. But I was like, well, if I don't like it, I can just go back. Like being an independent brokerage, like Mary was like, I was like, but that was like a big change for you. She's like, no, I saved a whole bunch on E&O insurance and I could be back in a day if it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So it was enough of an opportunity for her to take that risk. And she's like, and I'll never go back. Ever. So I think the other thing is that we have to eliminate the risk for our people. You know, what is the concern and how do we eliminate the risk? You know, the risk is I come over, it's not what it's supposed to be, and I lose the cost of rebranding. I lose the time, I lose the energy. What is it? So then how can we build solutions for that person, you know, who it probably is our ideal, you know, client, and this can be applied in anything, real estate, buyers, sellers, anything. But how do you make it a frictionless process? Because the more friction, the less likely someone's going to take a step with you. The more friction that you can alleviate, then the more likely they are to move forward in their relationship with you. It's one of the reasons why we earn a lot of business with the military relocation. Because we're like, do you want the schools guide? Do you want the summer camp guide? Oh, you need babysitters. Let me give you the babysitter vendor list. Like, you know, and so we just eliminate so many of the problems associated with the actual move that by the time it comes time to them needing someone for anything beyond that, we're already there.
Yeah.
That's so good. And it kind of goes back to that Alex Hormozy close, right? As weird as it is, right? It's not time, it's information that they need, right? So it's like, you know, someone who might say to a Zillow lead who's trying to transition over, I need to be there 6 months from now. But if given certain information or asked certain questions that could provide more clarity, they might have made a decision a lot quicker.
100%. It's usually because they're lacking information. I think a great way to do this, because it's uncomfortable to say you, like, John, you probably don't have all the information you need to make the best decision, right? But I found that if we take those statements that are a little bit like directed and pointed and pointing back at ourselves and say, you know what I realized after waiting 10 months to join XP is that I didn't necessarily need time, is that I didn't have all the information that I needed to make the right decision for me. So I'm kind of assuming that you're in the same spot. I'd love to just peel back the layers more of like, what information are we missing? Like, where do we need to dive in to make us feel like either this isn't the right fit or this is the right fit and we should move forward.
Yeah.
So if we point it back at us, then it's less like I'm talking, you know, it's less directed.
Yeah.
That's solid.